So good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. Day 10 of practice. Yeah, it's so interesting committing to something, committing to this practice, committing to habits or things that support wellness. And then how do you maintain that? Brene Brown, this amazing author from America, she also does loads of talks and stuff. And she talks about this thing of, dance with the one that brung you. So sometimes we're doing something and we forget that actually we felt different before we started doing the thing. And actually it's only when we stop doing it or we do something else. So dance with the one that brung you. So if you're feeling well doing this, then keep doing this. It's like I was really reflecting. Just how to maintain something and notice the feelings and sensations in yourself of what's changing. Yeah. So come rest into a child's pose. Come. Today's I don't know about a busy class, but there's loads of different things I want to do. So come rest into a child's pose. So you're long in your body, in your arms. You're wiggling yourself down a little bit more into your thighs. And you're just noticing the quality of your body in this moment. Like, can you just stop and be here? Feeling, noticing, sensing, yielding to the sensations. So then just move gently in your cat pose. So just wiggle here. So just kind of notice what your ribs can do, what kind of pressure you can move left and right on your knees. How would you wiggle your toes, your fingers? How would you stretch into your shoulders or your hands? Would you stretch into your face? Maybe there's a sigh, a yawn. And just feel that. Just kind of stretch in like you've just woken up. Maybe you have. Just kind of connect into the yum of awakening and stretching in this moment. Nice. And then come all the way up into your cat pose. So rounding your back and arching your back. And as I do this, there's that groany, achy, kind of delicious feeling as I move slowly and really begin to lengthen into my spine. I really appreciate the clean lines of connection that ground me into my body. Just the sensation of moving. How do I move right now? And I sense into a deeper layer of connection in my body. Nice. And then draw your right knee forward to your right elbow and round your back. And then bring your right knee behind your left knee. Right knee towards your right elbow, round your back. And then right knee behind your left knee. And I'm sitting my bum back as I do that. Right knee, I look towards it. Right knee, and I look towards it. I'm trying to look over the left shoulder to look at my right knee. Right knee up towards my elbow, I look at it. Right knee behind, I look at it. So we're going to start straightening our leg. So swing your right knee up towards your right elbow, then you straighten your leg and it goes around the corner and you're looking at it over towards the left. Right knee up towards your right elbow and swing. Right knee up. Swing. How do you make this juicy? Up. Swing. One last time. Up. And then just pause there. Bring your right foot to the floor. Look back over your shoulder. And just breathe into the length. So there's a squeeze in my deep inner thighs. There's compression into the left buttock. There's length into the right, into the waist. There's deep compression into the right shoulder, right hand. My left hand could lift off the floor here and it wouldn't make any difference to the connectivity. Notice that. Sometimes there's lines of connection and then you're like, whoa, look at that. My left hand can lift off the floor. Nice. Other side. So bring your left knee up towards your left elbow. And then bring your knee behind your knee. Touch. Touch. And now I'm going to follow with my head. Touch. 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 Maybe I'm going to straighten my leg. Touch. Straighten your leg around the corner. Touch. Around the corner. So as I do this, I was at tango dancing last night. I teach tango on a Monday night. And I can feel that I haven't been in high heels and dancing tango since my last tango class. And I can feel it in my lower back and in my bum and in my, it's the deep of my hips. This is really very nice. One more time and we're going to hold it. So bring your left foot around the corner. Really connect into that length. Toes are on the floor. And notice that your right hand could lift off the floor here and it's not part of the architecture of the movement. Like you could do something with your right hand. I'm going to try bring it back into lawnmower just for fun. Nice. Both hands to the floor. So now we're going to practice Kung Fu Bunny. So we were doing it a little bit yesterday, and it's a way of like creating space so that our foot can rock forward. So bring your right knee straight out towards the side, and then bring your knee down, and then bring your left knee out to the side and down. So just begin to walk. Right knee out. Now, how high and out to the side can you go? So I'm not keeping a stability in my pelvis. I'm looking for height through the leg as it lifts. I feel a twist in my spine. I feel my ribs beginning to really coordinate in. So my shoulders are doing something to help me twist a bit deeper. Oh God. It's amazing how sore your bum gets. Pause. So if that felt strong enough, stay there. Or we're going to try, so there's that, I don't know why I came up as bunny, the bunny rabbit. I can't remember. So anyways, Kung Fu Bunny is where you bring your knee out to the side and then you kick your leg straight out towards the right. Bend your knee, come down. Kick. Down. Kick. Down. Kick. Down. Kick. Down. One more time each side. Kick. Down. Kick. Down. Great. Push back into your downward dog. Walk yourself forward and just pause there in a deep forward bend. Elbows are bent and really round forward. Let the weight of you rock forward. Breath is in your belly. Bend your knees enough that your belly and your thighs are meeting. Really just allow that, all that work that we did into the deep hips and the buttocks there, just let that settle. Let the drop or the settling through the hips happen. Nice. Elbows to your knees. Pause. Hands to your knees. Pause. Come all the way up to stand. So come stand to the front of your mat. So we're going to do the sun salutation based on what we were doing last week. That we were doing the goalpost arms, and then we were doing wing chop. And so we're going to do that in our sun salutations. So standing to the front of your mat, just lift your heels up and then drop your heels down. Lift all your toes, widen them, let them grip the floor. Push down into your feet, feel the rise up through your spine, feel tall. And then reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. Nice. Bending your elbows, bending your knees. You're rounding and curling down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Keep your knees bent as you arch your back and look forward. So the arching is the most important thing. If your legs are straight and you can't arch, then just bend your knees. So we're really trying to arch the back here. Hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Pause. And you feel that in the pelvis and the hips. So drop your right knee down. Somebody was asking yesterday, we did this thing where we were straightening out through the front leg. And so it's really hard just straighten out through your front leg like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to walk your hands over towards the right side. So they're back near your knee, and then straighten your leg and bend your knee. So the further away your hands are from your foot, the easier it is to do this movement. So we're just rocking forward and backwards. My hands are back over towards the right side and back towards my knee. Now then walk your hands a little bit closer towards your foot. And then a little bit closer. Notice how it gets harder the closer to your feet you go. If your hands either side of that leg, that's the hardest version of it. Well, actually, no, both hands to the outside of the left foot is the hardest version. But anyways, so just find where can you rock forward and backwards. So my hands back near my knee, hands halfway. I'm just listening. Nice. Step back into your plank. Pause. Legs are strong. Drop your knees down, lower your belly down. Cool. So pull your elbows back and bring your fingertips really lightly to the floor. And just let your nose hover off the floor. So your fingers are hovering, your nose is lifted. And then just squeeze your bum and lift your toes. So we're just trying to connect into the length, really gentle, steady length of us. Maybe lift your head a little bit more. Fingers are floating, toes are floating. Breathing into your belly. Maybe if you want, you can look forward, but only if you feel like you're not pushing into your hands. And as you look forward, it's the body and the torso that's helping you look forward. Nice. Hands to the floor, push back. And then here is where we use Kung Fu Bunny. So lean yourself over towards the left side and then lift your right knee out towards the side and then swing your leg forward to the outside of your right hand. Okay? So that sense of really leaning gives you space to swing your foot forward. Taking your hand out of the way sometimes even helps. Okay? Hiya! Lift your back knee and then turn your back foot at a 45-degree angle. Bring your right hand to your right knee, left hand to your right knee, and then rise all the way up. We're into standing lunge. Okay? Reach your hands forward. Pull your elbows down. Do you remember this from last week? Straighten your arms up. Bring your hands forward to your right thigh. And now pull the left elbow back into wing. So as you pull back, you have this deep sense of elbow pulling back, chest is opening. And when we chop forward, we're going to keep our arms so it's parallel to the floor. So we chop forward like we're throwing a stone or I like the idea of throwing like maybe a javelin or something. Chop. Wing. Chop. And I have this sense of length. So as I chop, I have this like amazing long line of connection from my left heel into my left fingertips. One more time, we're going to hold it. Chop, pause. So my right hand is holding up my torso and my left side is just getting longer and longer. Nice. Left hand comes down. Pause there. Just turn your chest towards the left. I'm going to turn my toes so they're square to the floor. Turn your chest towards the right. Breathing into it. Feel the right buttock taking the weight. Hands to the floor. Step forward. Slowly rolling up. And reach your arms wide. Palms come together. Palms come to rest in front of your chest. So Phyllis was telling me that the last few months, every morning after the class, she practices the tree pose. So find a wall or something you can hold on to, and then just lift your right foot off the floor. Right foot off the floor. And so you can keep it just floating there, or you can reach down and just hold on to your right foot. You're holding onto the wall with your left hand. Sorry, I didn't specify that. Maybe you bring your foot to your thigh. So we're not doing anything specific about, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. Just get your leg up and hold on to your leg. Maybe bring your foot to your thigh. And just how do you manage that? Just that, without any detail, any like externally rotate and lengthen and all that kind of stuff. Just feel, how do I, foot on thigh, maybe you hold on to it. Stare at something, find your balance. Good job, fellas. She had as the tree for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. One side and then the other. We won't be doing that. Great. Other side. So stand at the front of your mat. Reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together. Bending your elbows, bending your knees. Come down. Hands to the floor. Forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Drop your left knee to the floor. And you're going to walk your hands over towards the left side and just bend your right knee. So travel forward and back. Where is the sweet spot of where your hands can rest on the floor and you can rock forward and backwards? Travel with your hands. Bring them over to the right side of your mat. Bring them either side of your leg. Bring them way back towards the left. Each one changes something. Nice. Step back with your foot. Come all the way down onto your belly. Pause. Lift your toes, lift your hands. Draw back through the shoulders. Lift deeply up through the chest. Nice. Push back into your cat, all the way back into your downward dog. Just pause for a moment in your downward dog. Maybe have a wiggle. Good. Knees to the floor. Kung Fu bunny. So lean your weight over towards the right. Lift your left knee out to the side and then hiya. Swing your foot forward to the outside of your left hand. Lift your back knee off the floor. Turn your back foot at a 45-degree angle. Left hand, left knee. Right hand, left knee. And rise all the way up. Reach both arms up. Pull them down into goalposts. Lifting through the chest. Rise up. Left hand comes down. Pull your right elbow back into wing. And then chop forward so that your arm is parallel to the floor. Wing. So if you want to make it stronger, of course, don't bring your hand to your knee. Always finding, do you need to support your body a little bit more? Pausing there. Or do you want to challenge your body a little bit more? Hands on things make it easier. Hands off things make it harder. Nice. Right hand to the floor. Bring your toes to square. Turn your chest towards the left side. Nice. Step forward. Rising all the way up. Bring your right hand to the wall. Lift your left foot off the floor. Hold on to it. Pull it in. Keep hold of it. And just see, how do you keep your foot on your thigh? Nice job. Foot to the floor. Come lie on the floor. So we're going to learn a particular kind of abdominal connection, and we're going to really use it a little bit more, okay? So start by lying on the floor and just really flatten your lower back into the floor. And then draw the front of your belly also backwards. So it's not just flattened down and your belly muscles push forward. It's flattened down and then draw the front of your body backwards as well. And then I'm going to bring my hands to rest onto the lower belly and just lift your right heel off the floor and see, does your spine change its shape on the floor? Left heel off the floor. So my toes are staying down and all I'm doing is lifting my heel. And how do I stay flat? So for me, there's something around the front of my ribs that I have to really stabilize, because otherwise they push forward and they start to move. Just lift your heel and then the other heel. So no movement in the pelvis. Maybe just lift your foot. No movement in the pelvis. And then lift your other foot. Just feel that. How do you lift one foot? No movement. Lower back, belly, staying deeply still, pushing backwards. And now you're just lifting one foot up, down, one foot up, down. So come up onto the toes of both of your feet and now lift the foot up and down. So there's now less contact with the floor and you're just lifting your foot off the floor. But when you land, you're just on your toes. Can you stay backwards? Again, my ribs have popped forwards. I'm going to pull my ribs backwards. Nice. Now you begin to lift your foot up so that it's parallel to your knee. The other foot is still on the toes as you lift. Keep drawing backwards. Okay, so we're going to jump. We're going to leap to the next level. Lift your foot off the floor. Stabilize so that your right thigh is parallel to the floor. No, right thigh is straight up over your knee. No, right thigh is straight up over your hip and your calf is parallel to the floor. And then see if you can lift your left toes off the floor without changing the shape of your spine. This is the harder one. Lower down. Toes float. Lower down. So I'm landing onto the left toes as I land and lift. And I'm really trying to, for me, keep my ribs backwards. Spine is wide. Belly is steady. Other side. Right toes to the floor, left thigh above your hip. Calf is parallel to the floor. And then just lift your right foot. Down. Don't let your spine move. Feel the engagement. You're like, wow. Can you draw the front of your belly backwards? Can you flatten your lower back a little bit more into the floor? One more time. Genie meanie. Rock your knees from side to side. As you rock, just get a sense of your hips, your belly. Bring your arms wide, maybe come into gliders. Feeling that? Just feel, maybe squeeze your knees up onto your chest or continue with gliders. Do whatever it is that you feel really squeezes and connects you into the deep of your pelvis and your lower back. For me, gliders are just such a, they're like the brown bread of my yoga. They're like a staple. I don't eat bread, but you know what I mean? The potatoes of my yoga, that's what they are. The gliders are the potatoes of my yoga. So pause and just rest. So let all that settle. How do you really land into the floor? Let your shoulders land. Do they feel the same size? Let your back of your pelvis land. Do they feel the same contact? Both feet. Nice. So, how cool. Nice. I like those dead bugs. Those dead bugs are cool. So great, yeah. What for you is the staple of your practice? You know, for me, gliders are something that I lie on the floor and I could just start into gliders and just get lost in gliders. You know, what is it for you? You know, maybe it's the knee rocking, maybe it's a squeeze, maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's downward dog. Let's see, what is the potatoes of your yoga?
Thanks for joining me. It's really such a pleasure to be here. And yeah, I'm really dwelling on that thing, how do we continue and persist with habits and commitments that change us? When we get to the edge of, oh, something's changing, do I sabotage and go backwards? Or do I push through and keep moving forward into that like version of me that is something more? So great. I'll see you tomorrow. Be well. Ciao, ciao.